wanted to do combat jiu-jitsu in EBI from day one. That was the plan. Palm strikes on the ground on an open mat. The Brazilians, they like the idea of combat jiu-jitsu because when you look at those old Gracie in action tapes,
sure,
it's Hicks and Gracie and Horion.
Yeah.
They're going into Hapkido gyms and doing challenges and hoists against Jason DeLucia. They're just palm striking them with jiu-jitsu. They're not really knocking them out. They're just opening up the submissions. But the commission, they thought I was probably crazy or something trying to, wait a minute, what? It's palm strikes on the ground, and we did Eric Campella Cruz, EBI commentator. He did the very first combat jiu-jitsu match, and we did it in a cage. It was 3 3-minute rounds. We tested it out.
It's one of those inevitable things about combat that you always want to take it to the next level and see what's the next challenge we can add to this game right here. So for us, when we first did it, me and another opponent were supposed to have a regular MMA fight, MMA gloves and everything. Both of our opponents backed out, and we had this combat jiu-jitsu rule set that we were willing to introduce. So Eddie was like, all right, let's do this as a combat jiu-jitsu match. You and me and this guy from Checkmat. And we went in, we did that first match and ended up pulling out a W, luckily. It was a great experience, but it also, there's two ways to look at it. You can see it's like MMA light or it's jiu-jitsu extreme.
It got, mixed reviews. It just, combat jiu-jitsu doesn't look good in the cage. I decided to put combat jiu-jitsu on a back burner. They couldn't see it at that point. But after 8-9 shows of EBI, the commission understood, and it's on now.
I learned the hard way. When you step out of MMA, it doesn't matter if you have a black belt or not. Real jiu-jitsu is completely different than MMA jiu-jitsu. And that's what excited me to learn about it, because I've studied it and I've done it, but it was all for an MMA purpose, not for a real understanding of what I call the language of jiu-jitsu. You have to learn the language. And that is what I think is gonna be a big thing for combat EBI, is who can speak the language the best.
None of those, just real simple. Not on the side. What about ridge hands? Keep your palm open and just.
What about ridge? Don't you have the PI?
It's optional. It's optional.
Any restriction on how we're supposed to,
have your hand out and hit him with the palm. Palm strikes.
I understand that, but we can go to the side, we can go to the ear, we can go to
just
the eye,
like, just like amateur MMA.
We can start striking.
As long as one dude is on the ground, you could palm strike. You could.
We found this guy. The same coach, Will, was like, check this guy out. He smokes weed and he comes up with all these weird moves. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Hello everybody, and welcome to my breakdown of the Korean Zombies Twister. I'm here with my best friend, my boy, my son, the love of my life, Bean.
That's pretty cool. And we started training it a lot, and we were teaching pretty legit classes, just not knowing what we were doing. I mean, we were doing a warm-up, drilling moves, and then rolling live. And it turns out that's what everyone else was doing across the world. We were doing it, we were just kind of doing it without any black belt teaching us the way. Been burnt up for the past couple years that I had to retire. That's a hard thing saying I have to retire, and it always sounds like I'm complaining, but I got a wife and kids, and I got bills, and the dream, it runs out every now and then it runs out for everyone. And my coach always warned me about it. He said, you're not gonna be able to fight someday, so enjoy it. And that, that hit me. That hit me really hard the last couple of years, because I wasn't able to fight anymore and train full time. And I've just been kind of waiting in the dark for something big to happen. And this is it, man. I think that, my wife has been trying to convince me, and I think she's right, that this is a bigger opportunity to fight in this, not just EBI, but the very first combat jiu-jitsu in EBI. Could be a bigger deal than ever fighting in the UFC. This could go down in history.
If the slap grappling tonight is a big success.
Palm strikes.
Palm strikes.
Watch your mouth.
If it is a big success tonight, will the organization go in that direction within a short period of time?
I don't know what's going to happen with combat jiu-jitsu. I don't know. Maybe it's a disaster. And maybe it's just like, you know what? Maybe something... I don't know. I think it's going to be a success. Will it? I don't know. It could be, maybe this is the perfect format. We keep regular EBI rules and we just throw in a 4-man Combat Jiu Jitsu. Maybe that's just the formula. Or maybe after a while it evolves to the point where, like the guys that are Combat Jiu Jitsu champions, they feel like they're a little more hardcore than the regular ones. They start calling each other out and say, fuck you, I'll get you in Combat Jiu Jitsu. I don't know. Any other questions? Everybody else, thank you again. Hopefully it's an awesome show. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be crazy. I'm pretty sure, but you never know. You never know. Good stuff.
Ladies and gentlemen, we
Don't get your hopes up.
live.
Getting those lazy jiu-jitsu positions. Well, now I'm gonna slap the shit out of you. It's game over.
4-man bantamweight tournament in the modality of Combat Jiu Jitsu.
Everybody's gonna tune in, just like the early UFCs. I'm like, what is about to happen? I mean, I don't know if people are gonna get knocked out. I don't know if people are gonna get choked out. You just don't know.
It's time!
All right, gentlemen, first round. You gonna fight? You gonna fight? Hit him.
George versus J.M. Holland. He's floored. He's all ready. Opponent is grounded. Looking now for position a bit more and Chad George. Nice.
Although this is really a hammerlock to me.
Yeah, he's got that hammer lock. Chad's wincing.
George also open to palm strikes here as well, and he's isolated. Now
he's got the arm
coming.
lock.
J.M. Holland fishing
Showing
for
on
it.
the arm.
Chad George trying
Chad's
to pull
out.
free, and he does.
Whoa.
How the Savage trying to make J.M. Holland pay. Wow. Now he's right down striker.
No, he's in a lot of danger.
First ever Combat Jiu Jitsu match.
Oh, he's out. He's good.
Gentleman rolling his heel underneath the chin. Will attack. It is done.
James deep in.
It is done. I am hooked on Combat Jiu Jitsu.
That belt's a lot fancier this time around.
Former MMA pros get this opportunity to work with James strikes and they're going to jump at the ribs up.
Very clean double there.
Ooh.
Looks like what's...
No, he's turned into him.
He's got it. That's tied. That's tied. He's at the crown of the head. Yeah, he got the twister.
Nick Honstein gets it done. He is the new EBI Bantamweight Combat Jiu Jitsu champion in Iomiko.
First ever EBI Combat Jiu Jitsu champion, winner by Twister, Nick Honstein.
To win is sweet. To be the first champion is sweet. But to do it via Twister, I mean, the move that Eddie Bravo has made famous. I mean, EBI is his invention. The Twister is his invention. Combat Jiu Jitsu largely is his invention. And to win all of that with his invention, I mean, Nick Honstein's got to be the happiest man alive right now.
Josh Burnett and Bruce Buffer told me congratulations. Yeah. Came over and told me congratulations. It's ironic how things work out. I couldn't have thought of a better way to wrap it all up, like winning EBI by a twister. It's almost cliche. Like it's too perfect. Couldn't have wrote it better myself. I'm happy.
You did right.
Yeah, I did, I guess.
Estoy súper contento. I'm super happy, happier than any EBI probably because of the board on Combat Jiu Jitsu. You know, the fans, they went crazy. You know, every time I can see, I was noticing the audience and everyone was with a smile on their face.
I think people dig Combat Jiu Jitsu. You heard the crowd. People were louder for Combat Jiu Jitsu than any other match. It's pretty nuts. It's pretty crazy. What does the future hold? Shit. Maybe a 16-man Combat Jiu Jitsu tournament. Maybe a full EBI, total Combat Jiu Jitsu. I don't know. Overall, for the sport, for the BJJ community, I think Combat Jiu Jitsu was a tremendous success. And to cap it off with a twister, man, it was beautiful. I don't know when, but I'll let you know. I'm not sure. You know what we'll do? We'll do it the absolute. Gordon's going to do the absolute in December, and you'll do the Combat Jiu Jitsu.
Look at where we're at with these sports. Everybody laughed at MMA when it first started happening. This isn't real. And then jiu-jitsu started getting bigger, like, oh, this is just two guys rolling around with each other. And now we have these events that are blowing up around the world for professional jiu-jitsu. I mean, it's incredible the fact that I can even say that, professional jiu-jitsu. Whatever happens, we are here. And that's what's amazing.